Hi guys, welcome back to Tom Mod's Things. Today we are back working on Project Corsa, where we are taking all the bits off this old Max Power Corsa and we are putting them on a brand new car. So first things first, today we are going to be looking at the front bumper and getting this one removed and the new one put on it. So let's crack on. Right, so first things first, we've got to get under the bonnet. Now I've watched a few YouTube videos on... wrong side, perfect. Watched a few videos on how to do this. I believe it's basically T10 and T15 Torx bits, some under the front, some in the arches. There we go. And then basically we should be good to go to take this one off and put the blue one on it. So right, so is it as clean as we'd hoped? Okay, it's the first time I'm seeing this as well. It's looking okay. That is looking a little bit suspect. It's not had a front end ding from the looks of it, which is good. So that's, or at least maybe the crash bar's been replaced. How about this? Okay. But, I don't know, I've got anything to try and stab through it. Okay, still pretty strong, so I think we can grind that back and then hopefully treat it without actually having to do any sort of severe rust repair. I think not a problem. Right, so now we can also see what's going on with this area here. Yeah, so maybe that's had a bit of a... Yeah, okay, so this is supposed to be straight like this one. This is a little bit bananaed, so we're gonna have to sort that out. Right, and then over to the pile of bits. What we need, not that, it is this. Come on. Right, let's go and chuck this on this car. Yep, there we go, brute force, sorted. And then we do need to still sort that dent. Right, so there we have it. We've got it on the car loosely at the moment. What it has done is emphasise that we've got some problems up on this left-hand side. Clearly where the bumper has, or where it's had a little bit of a knock, it's pulled all this out of alignment. Now you can kind of get it pretty close, but obviously that front edge needs to be tied in and this whole area has kind of been shoved in, including the mounting brackets behind. But then when we come over to this side, it's not looking too bad now. So this obviously lines up as it should do around all of here. Bearing in mind the bonnet's open at the moment, but yeah, around this area is looking pretty good. There is some work that we need to do on this anyway with smoothing in certain aspects to make it look like the original green one, because there was some things that were done to this bumper to make it a bit more custom. So we're gonna have to crack on and do that with this, but yeah, good start at the moment, even if it does look a little bit weird with a blue front end. Right, so now we've done the front bumper. Next up is a rear bumper removal. Let's show you exactly what we've got. So the bumper of choice for this particular car is this one, sitting over here, which if we get out is a combat rear bumper. So this is the one that has been chosen for the rear of this car. So what we need to now work out is how exactly to remove this bumper. Now, from removing the previous one, I think we've got, yep, some clips up here. Pretty sure we got some underneath. And then I believe we've got these sort of fixed things that sit in here somewhere as well, like some bumper mounts. Now I think these might actually be kind of behind these trims, so kind of need to work out how to remove this to kind of get access to those. So going to crack on the internet and see if we can find something that will give us some indication as to how to do that. Alright, there we go. Bit of a shove because one of the fixings underneath here are basically rusted and grounded out, so we just had to give it a bit of a kick. But yeah, obviously in its sort of dirtiness, but yeah, I mean, this is still looking really clean for a Corsa, to be honest. Little bit of kind of surface sort of brownness starting to come through here. Side mounts just a bit dirty. All the way around here, it's all looking really, really nice and clean. As a comparison, let's say, to this thing over here, we look at what this one was like. Yeah, I'm going to say, yeah, I think that one's pretty good, to be honest. So, right, let's go and line up this combat bumper. Right, there we go, rear bumper. It's kind of fixed in the 3 places in the middle. We're not going to obviously fully fit it with kind of all these other bits because all this trim is kind of coming off anyway, so it's kind of pointless. And we're going to have to do a bit of work, obviously, to get this all as good as it can be based on the fact that we've got kind of holes in places that don't need holes. But yeah, I mean, fitment's pretty sick, to be honest. Looks pretty good indeed. I do like these combat rear ends. I do think they look wicked. Right, so decided next up we're going to be removing the trims. May as well, that kind of needs to happen anyway, so we're going to crack on. We need a socket for this, 10mm, go around little plastic nuts and then just remove them all over, and then they should hopefully, fingers crossed, pop off. Right, so uncovered the first little bit of rust, got a little bit of a crispy arch here, it's a bit bubbly, gonna definitely need a bit of treatment on this just to get it nice, but then we do need to check because part of this kind of needs to be cut out anyway because of the big wheels and stuff. But so up until this point we've been working on this where I've been storing it over by where the snakeskin Saxo stores, but to basically get this finished, because we only have 4 to 5 months to kind of get it all complete, I need to bring it back over to base. We've traded it with the Cayman, and we're going to be working on this on the driveway in evenings and stuff, and absolutely cracking on and getting this out of the way. We've got a whole host of bits to go on it, not only the bonnet and everything that we've had stored here, but also the car is full of all the bits from the old green car as well, so we can crack on, start getting things finished and buttoned up. I've been told that people may want club stuff afterwards, so all of this stuff will be going up for sale afterwards. And then there's a bit more kind of tucked in over here. We've got some carbon door rails, which is quite good because these are a bit crusty. This whole car needs a proper wash, to be honest, to say. A little bit green in places, but overall very good condition, especially if you were watching the previous videos we had of this. It's a very nice car, to be honest. Right, so first up we're going to crack on and we're going to bonnet basically done, so it looks pretty easy, to be honest. We're just going to crack on, we're going to get this one off, get the bits disconnected, and then hopefully we should be able to line this up, and with any luck it fits pretty well. Right, there we go, bonnet is off to reveal the 1.2 litre 16 valve absolute powerhouse. So I guess next up is to see if we can get that bonnet fitted. As one person, probably going to be a struggle. Right, there we go, suddenly looking a lot meaner. It's not fully closed and stuff yet because we haven't actually got the latch or anything on this side. I don't want to push it down and have no way of getting it back up again, so this is kind of where it's sitting for the moment. I think we might need to do some work around this top section across here, just where this is going to lip over the top. I think we wanted to remove this sort of middle snout bit anyway in this particular bumper. That was removed on the kind of original green one that was on that car. But yeah, pretty good. I would say this wouldn't worry too much about the shut line on this, because actually this edge has been brought in, which has kind of bent this over, so we need to rework this fender or replace it, move this in, bend this out, and then that will match up with this, hence why the cable ties are there for the moment. And then if we look on the other side, actually that's pretty damn good, to be honest. for a fiberglass kit bonnet onto a car. Looking pretty damn sweet. And then up here, a few areas where the corners have chipped off, which we're going to need to rework. But as you come around the top section, actually pretty good, to be honest. I think we're probably going to not put the washer jets back in this, and what we will do is we'll run them under the scuttle, sort of here, because I think we're planning on smoothing this off anyway and removing that wiper, because we've got a single wiper conversion for it, which would look a lot better. But it's amazing, isn't it, what a bonnet can do. Right guys, back at it again. Side skirts, fenders and stuff have been bonded onto the car at the moment. Let's show you what we've been doing underneath. Basically, we have been mounting some aluminium sections onto the actual body of the car, all sort of bonded in and sealed. And basically what this is doing is going to add extra support where basically the side skirts and stuff will sit on top. That should give it a lot more structural rigidity when the whole thing is bonded together, rather than just sort of a thin profile sort of bonded onto the exterior of the car. Then we've got to key in this surface all the way around here, same up front with all the surface around here, so that it's got something to actually bond to with the adhesive that we're using. Otherwise it'll just sit on a really shiny clean surface, and then the ability for it to peel off is obviously a lot greater. So we've basically got to key in these surfaces, then we've got to line up the body kit. We'll get one fixing in here, which is what we've done on the other side, get it all sort of bonded round, and then we are ready to go. Right, so what are we doing? We're in the living room. Mrs. is out, so we have turned the coffee table into the flocking arena. Basically we've got a kit. I've got this kind of flocking adhesive, got some brushes, got some instructions, got our activator puffer or whatever it is. So yep, and we're in the kitchen making ourselves some fibres. So this is all clumped up, so according to the instructions we've got to sieve it until it comes nice and sieved, I guess. So yeah, hopefully this is all cleaned up by the time this video comes out, if she does see it. But anyway, on we go. Right, next up on the agenda is to get this absolutely massive exhaust pipe fitted to replace this tiny little one. So I believe this is a straight fit for a Corsa, at least measuring up and looking at the shape of it, it looks like it is. However, we are going to need to make a cut basically just there on the straight section to be able to basically put this over the top, a little bit of sealant, and then clamp it, I guess, with this or another sort of U-clamp that we've got, and then we should be able to mount it back to at least one mount I can see on here. What I can't do is see a second one, so we do have a few bits in the garage that might be able to help with this, but the kind of OEM exhaust pipe, as we can kind of just about see up here, is connected to two rubbers, so I don't know how it's going to look when it's just connected to one. It might droop, or I don't know, we're going to kind of have to approach that when we get to it. So first up first is to get the old reciprocating saw out and basically measure it up and make a cut. So there we go. Skip forward a little bit because we had to do some messing around underneath, but we've got it cut. I think we've got it in kind of the right position. We've added a little bit of exhaust paste just between the connection, just to hopefully create a nice seal, but we'll see once we've driven it around a little bit whether it's blowing. But that is absolutely ridiculous. Look how massive it is. So I guess the only thing now is to do a cold start. Yes, definitely louder, definitely not as loud as I was expecting, to be honest, with this absolute cannon, but we'll see how it goes once it's warmed up and properly bedded in. But yes, very happy with that. Not too obnoxious, but just enough to make it better. Really, we're only interested in just having this massive tip on the back. So the next thing is basically we've got to cut the small aperture out of this one so that it will fit this. So yeah, going to be a bit of trial and error now. Right, and there we have it, a massive pipe on the back. Now we've had to do a lot of chopping of this combat bumper to get this pipe through, because as you can see it's absolutely ginormous. We're not fully happy obviously with how it is at the moment, but it's in and the bumper's on, so that's the main thing. The actual pipe is going to sit kind of over a little bit like there once we've kind of got the other mount in place, so we're going to do that shortly. Cut this out just to kind of give us a little bit of clearance, but yeah, we're going to need to kind of glass over and reshape this rear end, so we're just kind of getting things in place at the moment, just to kind of make sure everything kind of fits. But you can see down here we had to kind of trim right up against these edges to even get the pipe through. So we're gonna have to work out what we do with that, because we don't like the finish as it is at the moment and it needs to look better. But yeah, I think it's definitely going to suit the rear of this car, and then obviously we've got the side skirts and stuff going on, and they're all bonded in place at the moment, so we can start smoothing them in. As you can see, it's a lot wider than a standard arch, because these are like double stacked, so yeah, come out quite far. Right, and then just to finish this episode off, bit of a bigger update as well, because there's been loads of stuff going on in the background for all the kind of little shorts and stuff for all this stuff. Basically go over to Tom Mods Things on TikTok, which is where all the smaller bits of content get posted on a more regular basis, and YouTube. So let's crack on and let's show you exactly what we've been up to. Right, so there we go. So first thing you will notice is we have made loads of progress on this front bumper. Basically what we've been doing is blending all of the kind of bits that we didn't want and removing those, so all the kind of little sort of venty ripply bits here, the sort of line that used to go around here, the number plate recess has been blanked off as well. And then what we're also doing is transitioning the kind of bigger over fenders into the front bumper at the moment, blending it all in, and then we'll basically use this as a reference to trim it back out again, because what we don't want to do is mold all the kit into the car, because while it looks really cool for maintenance purposes, it's an absolute pig. So for this we'll do sort of the next best thing, which is to kind of mold everything in and then cut it out afterwards. So if we're coming around to the other side has been done too. Similar sort of way. This side's probably a little bit further, to be honest, but yeah, definitely getting there. Then next thing is you'll notice that the wheels are on there. These have just been put on temporarily for fitment, because the tyres definitely need changing, because they're about 15 years old, so definitely will not be driving on those, but just to make sure that we kind of had clearances and stuff. Now this side's a bit higher at the moment than the other side, which is a lot lower, but the coilovers are on the car now. So in here, up in there, can we see? There we are. Just see the yellow. We've got the coilovers that came on the green car originally back on there. We just need to basically wind up this side or wind down the other side. They're pretty close, but not quite close enough. Now when we come round here, all of the side skirts and everything are all being blended in. Had to put some additional sort of protection around here because we had sanded through the original paintwork, and we're kind of fixing some of the repairs in the moment. So while it's kind of coming along, there's still a lot to do. As you can see here, doing the same as what we did on the front, which is blending those two bits in with one another, so that once we are finished and getting it all nice and smooth, we can make the cuts so that this rear bumper can be removed as and when needed. Inner arches have all been cut out now, so got our clearances for the wheels for when this rear end gets dropped a lot further, once all the audio gear and the interior bits go in. Other things we've done, obviously, removed all the rub strips and got rid of all of that side of things, so it's cleaned up the exterior a lot better. We need to sort out the rear boot lid. We're going to get that one sorted out so it's more in line with what was on the original green one. But yeah, overall pretty happy with progress thus far. We've got 6-7 weeks I think until the show now, so definitely needing to crack on and get things sorted. It's kind of coming together bit by bit, but it's definitely taking up all the time that I can get at the moment just to kind of get it finished. So yeah, cheers for watching. What I'm going to be doing from now until this is kind of unveiled is do big videos once a month on YouTube, and then, as I say, with TikTok and Instagram Reels, all of the smaller bits like fitting the exhaust pipe, for example, and all the little bits that have then fed in with a bit more detail into this video will be on there instead, just to make it a little bit easier to manage with life and stuff at the moment, because I don't do this full time. This is like just hours here and there, so it does take a little bit of time to put together, hence why these videos take a little bit longer to turn up at the moment with family commitments. So yeah, cheers for watching again. I'll catch you on the next one. Don't forget to subscribe to all the channels if you want to watch any more of these or keep track and stuff, and I will catch you guys on the next one. See you later.